So what are the 17 things you should never do with Amex? Now we're getting into the no-nos. Do not credit card churn with American Express. What is credit card churning? Getting the points, canceling the card. Getting the card, canceling it again. American Express watches this like a hawk, okay? Because this was the game back in the day, is credit card churning. It's not so much big anymore, but here's the deal. If I open up a platinum card and I close my platinum card within a year, I lose my points attached to that platinum card that came with it. So if I had 150,000 bonus with American Express, right? And I cancel that card within a year, I lose that bonus. They take it, they claw it back. They take the points back. Okay. So do not cancel the card in the first year. Do not. You look like a churner and they will come after you. And they may even tag you in their system where the rat team's watching you, or the almighty algorithm, the Skynet's watching you. The last thing you want is American Express Skynet watching you. Okay. So don't churn the credit cards. Not worth it. Also, do not get a credit card with American Express and then try to, wipe the inquiry, because there is no inquiry. Okay. So don't try to do that, because if you're an American Express holder, you're not going to get an inquiry for this. Do not cancel your Amex card until you first move your MR points as well. I don't feel comfortable ever canceling an Amex card without moving my MR points. Okay. I just don't. Okay. I don't trust it. I've seen horror stories happen, and I'm just not going to be that guy that does that. So make sure that before you cancel your Amex card, you move the points. Do not put high spend on American Express right away. Okay. Take it slow. Just like dating, take it slow. Don't rush in. I'm going to go buy a Rolex. I'm going to go buy, a diamond ring. I'm going to go, put this down on a car. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. That's the quickest way to trigger that algorithm, to have them look, because you'll be a credit risk, which will trigger a manual review, which will trigger the rat team to watch you. This rat team is real. I'm going to be making a video about it for the YouTube channel. Okay. But warm up the card. 1 to 6 months, warm it up. Put 1,000 on it first month. Put 2,000 or 3,000 on it the second month. 5 to 7 on it. Warm it up. Use the card. Actually use the card. If you're not using the card and you're just randomly spending, you're a red flag. So don't do this up and down stuff. Use the card. Make it steady. Okay. Work it. Do not buy high-risk items in high amounts, jewelry, car down payments, things like that. You know why? Learn from me. That's how I got into AMEX Jail, okay? I got excited, guys. I had a $30,000 Blue Business Plus card. This was my second business card. First one was the Business Gold, and then I was like, I can get a Business Blue Plus card too. I'll get that. They gave me a $30,000 limit. So I had a $30,000 limit on that card, and then I had an unlimited limit on the business credit card. The Business Gold card. Guess what I did? I bought a brand new Honda Civic. I put $5,000 on the card. And then I also bought an expensive piece of jewelry for somebody. And next thing you know, I wake up to an email. Your Blue Business Plus is under further review. Next day, same thing with the Business Gold card. I call them. I send them all my documents about how much money I'm making. Next day, Blue Business Plus card goes from $30,000 to like $2,000 or $4,000. Horrible. I was planning on using that money. Okay, I was planning on using that money. $30,000 to $2,000 to $4,000. 0%. Okay, this is a 0% $30,000 card. I'll say it again. 30 grand, 0%, and it gets moved down to 2 to 4. That's a big drop. Okay. And then they bucket my Business Gold card all the way down to 4K. Okay. And I just got out of jail not too long ago for this right here. So when I tell you to warm it up, I know firsthand. I had the hardest experience with American Express for the longest. Take it slow. It's not a rush. Okay. Let's see here. Do not manufacture on these cards unless it's organic spend. If you don't know how to do this, don't do it, because American Express, Navy Federal, Chase is another one. They can see third-party spend. If you take your American Express cards and you think you're slick and you think that you can go buy gift cards with it, you're wrong, okay? You will have a manual review. When you have a manual review, they can bucket you, they can reduce your lines, or they can blacklist you. If you're ever blacklisted from American Express, you can never get back in. Is it worth it? They have the ability, like I said, to see what you're spending, okay, at any time. Don't do this at all. Do not invoice yourself with your merchant account and pay with your own Amex card. Oh my God. This is the quickest way to get your card shut down, card blacklisted, card bucketed, and your merchant account shut down. You do not want to play around with your merchant account. We're going to do trainings on that. Like the moment your digital footprint gets messed up with a merchant account, you are not in a good shape at all. Okay. So you do not want to play around with that. Do not invoice yourself and pay with Amex. Do not also do it to some person all the time because they catch on to that. Okay. If somebody invoices you, also make sure that they have a seasoned merchant account. Some merchant accounts aren't verified, so it looks at risk, and that can also trigger a manual review. So make sure that who you're spending your money with American Express, make sure that they're seasoned. Okay, because if American Express doesn't like the merchant account, they may call the purchase into question and look into things. And then they have their rat team that's sophisticated with their AI and their algorithms, and they'll go to work. So be very careful. Like if you don't know somebody, don't pay with, this type of card. Now, I mean, you're like, well, I want buyer protection. Okay, cool. But just know that it could trigger it. Okay. Just know that. Do not screw up your relationship with Amex. They barely give second chances. You said they do. They barely do. Okay. And if you do, you're one of the few. Okay. They hold grudges. They are the worst grudge holder. Okay. So they don't believe in second chances that much. So if you do want a second chance, you need to call them up, say, I want to pay in full. But before I pay in full, I want to promise in writing that I can literally get into this, second chance system that you guys have, this Optima card, whatever it is, because I want to have a relationship with you guys again. Okay. And you're going to be paying what you owe them plus interest, whatever that is. So just be aware of that. Okay. So don't screw that relationship up. Do not pay late. My goodness. Like the biggest way to screw up your credit is to pay late. You'll suffer for 7 years for that. The other thing is to screw up your utilization. Now, utilization, you can fix in a month, right? So you max out a credit card, score drops all the way down. Okay. Pay it all the way off, pay it all the way down, boom, right back up. So that's not a problem. But if you're late one time, you're dealing with that late for 7 years. So just be smart, guys. Put your stuff on auto pay. It takes one bad move, one careless mistake when life is busy to make you suffer for 7 years for something where you don't get approved for the cards you want, for the homes you want, for whatever it is. You'll be suffering for that for 7 years. Now, some of y'all don't have 7 years. Some of you guys are going to be dead in 7 years. You guys are getting old, okay? But some of y'all young people, that's still going to be an eternity for you, because if you're 23, you're not going to be able to do it until you're in your 30s. So get out of that late fee. So guys, just don't pay late, period. And on top of that, it's massive fees with American Express, and it's horrible data points for you internally. Do not lie on your credit app. I know, I got to say it. You could trigger a manual review. Now, here's the deal, okay? Anything over $70,000 on your credit that you apply for on American Express can trigger the manual review. And it's been known to do that. So if you say I make 120K, your credit score drops a little bit because they can also see when your credit score drops, right? So they have these things in place where if your credit score drops 10 points or 20 points suddenly, they look into you and things like that. I'm telling you, it's just going to get worse too, okay, with AI. So anything over 72,000 stated income, you are at risk for a manual review, just to give you a heads up on that. And we already know what happens at a manual review. Going off that, do not ask for credit limit increases unless you need it. Why? Anything over $35,000 in credit limits with Amex has been known to trigger a manual review. So if you have a $20,000 card, you have a $5,000 card, you have $25,000. Do you really need that extra $10,000? What are you going to do with it? If it's not a 0% card, what are you going to do with it? You're better off getting charge cards and keeping your credit limits on the credit cards below 35,000, so you don't have this situation happen. Okay? They're talking about $35,000 internally with credit limits on credit cards, not charge cards. Okay? We're talking about credit cards. But if you have credit limits at 35 or higher, you are at risk for a manual review. So I'm telling you, do not ask for the credit limit increase unless you really need it, unless you really have a purpose for it. Just be content with $25,000 in available credit. Or one of the things that you can do is if you don't want to have two cards, you can call them up and say, hey, listen, I'd like to reallocate my credit. This is a cool thing of Amex. If you have a $25,000 card and a $5,000 card, you can call them up and say, hey, listen, can you move my $5,000 card, my $5,000 limit to my highest card, the one that's 25,000? They'll say, no problem. We'll do that for you, right? And so they'll move that and they'll shut that card down if you want, okay? So, and obviously don't shut cards down that are on the personal side. Shutting them on the business side makes no difference. But on the personal side, don't do it, okay? If you get a manual review, participate. Don't ignore it. If you ignore it, it gets worse. So just participate. It's not going to be pretty if you get it. Just letting you know, that's why avoid getting it. Avoid getting extra credit that you don't need. Avoid lying on credit apps. Avoid purchases that are risky. Warm up your credit cards. Don't just jump and dive right in, okay? You have to be safe with them, okay? Because they don't want somebody running off with their money and not paying, okay? Sorry. Do not pay your bill with points. Pay with points is the worst thing you can do, okay? It's the worst evaluation for your money, okay? You're better off moving them into a brokerage account, or you're better off using them for travel hacking, but you're not better off using them to pay for your bill. I know it's appealing when you owe $1,500 and you got enough points to cover it, but listen, those points can be thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars that you don't have access to if you were to spend them like that. My other thing is, do not use points unless you transfer them out, okay? So always transfer your points out because that's where your best bang for your buck is going to be. Do not sign up for cards unless you get the best sign-on bonus. So with American Express, they have a 1 sign-up bonus per card, which means if I have $100,000, if I have 100,000 MR point sign-up offer for a platinum and I get that, well, if I ever cancel it and get the platinum again, I won't get that sign-up bonus because it's only per product. So each credit product, you get 1 sign-up bonus for life. That stops from credit card churning. We just went over that. So if you have an Amex card, right, and you have, a gold card and you cancel it and you want to get another gold card and get the sign-on bonus, you can't. If you get a gold card and you don't get the sign-on bonus, you cancel it, you get another gold card because you never got the bonus, you can't. You get 1 shot at this thing. 1 shot, lifetime chance at it. Okay? So what does that mean? Don't apply for cards unless you need them, want them, or like them, because here's the deal. There was, you could have a green card at 30,000 MR points, and then on Black Friday, next thing you know, 70,000 MR points when you spend such and such money. Well, I would have missed out on 40,000 if I would have done that, right? So just kind of know the ballpark of what you want. And then when you see that bonus offer, then go for it, okay? Then go for it because you only have 1 shot at this thing. You can't afford to strike out, okay? Otherwise, you'll miss out. Do not just cancel cards, ask for a retention offer, okay? So like I said, American Express makes money when you use the card, when you swipe the card. They love that. They make a lot of money off that. That's part of the reason why their credit lines are high for people that use the card. Why? Because they get rewarded off the front end and the back end, right? Even just swiping the card, where, for example, Chase doesn't. Chase doesn't get that. Chase gets credit on the back end when, when sometimes they get a kickback. And then sometimes also, they get a big kickback when you don't pay your bill, you get interest and things like that. So American Express loves you using their cards. So the more you use their card in a year and you ring up spend, you can say, hey, I spent $30,000 on this card in a year. Listen, I'm open to keeping this card, but if it doesn't make sense, I need to cancel it. Is there any retention offers that I have to keep my business? And they'll let you know. They'll look into it. Sometimes there are and sometimes there are not. I've had it where there were some big ones and some where there just wasn't. But don't just cancel a card unless you ask for retention first. And also don't just cancel a card until you move the credit line as well, because that's something people don't think about. Not just canceling the cards for the points and stuff, or the retention offers with the points, but you could also have a credit line that you're getting ready to cancel that you don't know that you can allocate that credit. So make sure that you don't just do canceling without thinking it through, without moving your points first, without calling and talking to retention first. Make sure you have all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted so that way you're good to go. 15, do not forget to enroll in benefits for your cards and special offers. Within your Amex portal, you'll be able to apply offers to your card, right? So you can have like different additional cash back. So you can apply these offers to your cards, right? You get additional cash back, extra points. You shop online through shopping portals to get extra points from that, or extra perks from that, or extra cash back from that. And then you also get the points from your actual card. So you're literally triple dipping. That's how you triple dip. Okay. You got to play smart. You got to be smart. You got to know the game. So number one, make sure that all of the special offers are enrolled in the back end of your Amex. That's step number one. Each card has their own. Okay. Number two, download the Chrome extensions of the shopping portals to your Chrome browser and then sign in. So every time you go to a website, if they have an offer, they'll pop up for you, say, would you like to activate 2.5 cash back? Would you like to activate 7% cash back? Whatever the case is. You say yes, boom. Okay, cool. The reason why those shopping portals are there is it's called affiliate marketing. If you go to Macy's and you buy something from Macy's, Macy's gives American Airlines, or Macy's gives Alaska Airlines a kickback, and then they also give you a kickback as far as miles goes for you using them to help bring business to them as well, because they get business from you just shopping there. Okay, basically they're saying they recommended you, so they're cycling it through. A lot of people don't know that. 16, do not use the wrong Amex card for purchases. Every card is unique with perks, okay? Platinum versus green. We've already looked at the difference between the platinum and the normal green card, okay? I don't like the business green, for example. I hate the business green card. That's why I didn't put it in here. I hate it. It's worthless. So I like the personal green and I like the business platinum, but I don't like the normal platinum and the personal green. I mean, I just think the platinum normal is kind of overrated unless you really use it correctly. Do not get a business Amex first. We went over that. You want to always get a personal Amex first for the inquiry hack to work.